What's going on? I've had the Able Carry Daily Plus and the Max EDC for over a year now. The Max EDC was actually one of the first videos that I posted when I launched my YouTube channel. Given the fact that I am constantly testing new bags and yet find myself naturally gravitated to either the Daily Plus or the Max EDC quite a bit, I figured I'd share my long-term opinions, specifically around the Daily Plus, and then also how it stacks up against the Max EDC for anyone that might be trying to figure out which of the two that they should get. I did a dedicated review, like I mentioned, on the Max EDC, so I'll include a link below for that. On this video, I'll be focused primarily on the things that I really love about the Daily Plus, the things that are keeping it from being potentially the perfect EDC bag for me, why it remains one of my absolute favorite bags altogether. And then I'll compare it against the Max EDC areas where I think the Daily Plus shines, where the Max EDC is a better fit, to hopefully help you decide if you are between one or the other. So that being said, let's get into it. My favorite things about the Daily Plus really fall in line with things that I also love about the Max EDC, and those are how comfortable this bag is, the tactile experience, all of the materials feel fantastic. And then lastly is just Able Carry's design language, which either you love it or you hate it. I absolutely love it. So starting off with the comfort, when I'm going on a trip where I know that I'm gonna be walking around a lot with my bag, as much as sometimes I want to switch it up and snag something else, to me, the Daily Plus, I wanna say, is the most comfortable bag that I own altogether. And it's like deciding on what pair of sneakers you're gonna bring when you're traveling. Like, you might have a cool looking pair of sneakers that are kind of comfortable, but in the end of the day, like when you're out and about, you're never gonna regret bringing the more comfortable pair. And that's really what it comes down to with the Daily Plus Able Carry. I don't know what the hell they're doing, but yeah, it's their shoulder straps are not too soft, not too hard. They just provide really good comfort. They conform around your shoulders incredibly well. And then compared to the Max EDC, I will say they're both incredibly comfortable bags, but this like Batman, like 6-pack armor padding that the Daily Plus has on the back, I think edges it for me compared to the Max EDC. So if you value comfort in a bag, Able Carry, I feel like probably the brand that I've most rarely heard people complaining about the comfort. Obviously everyone is different, and I'm sure there's people that don't find it as comfortable as I do, but it's pretty universally beloved in that sense. Secondly is the tactile experience in this bag. All of the materials feel fantastic. It's funny, like X-Pack, I really like X-Pack in some bags. In some bags I don't, but Able Carry's design language combined with X-Pack, it's like they make too much sense, one and the other. But yeah, the zipper, which I'll talk about now, PU-coated zipper, but this is one of the smoothest zippers I've ever come across in any bag. The stretch mesh that Able Carry uses might be my favorite. It's just so thick and delightful. Their ripstop liner, and then again, like the stretch mesh here and here. The last thing is just the design language. They're out of Hong Kong, but to me, this just gives like Japanese, urban, origami, minimal modern, retro futuristic vibes. Super unique. I have yet to see a bag that even closely resembles what Able Carry is doing, and in that way, I absolutely appreciate them for it. Now, with Able Carry bags, I'd say the one place where I find myself sometimes gravitating towards other bags is, as much as I like the look of the bag, the feel of it, both my hands and on my shoulders, their bags are designed around side access. So both in the Daily Plus and the Max EDC, the main quick access pocket is this front stash pocket that you get. You get another one here, but it's a little less quick access. I'll talk about that in a second regardless. And I am one that finds top-down access a little bit more intuitive, but even, you know, when the bag is like this, you can get into it, but as you can see, the pockets kind of like in an Evergoods-esque way, have a sideways orientation. So it really is optimally accessed when the bag is on it. Before I compare this with a Max EDC, my main nitpicks with it are, one, the lack of a luggage pass-through, which I can pretty much guarantee you that whenever they do the next iteration of the Daily Plus, they will include it. The Max EDC has it, and it's a 26-liter bag. This, if anything, makes for a better travel companion, something to pair with a suitcase. There's a brand that sells a luggage pass-through that you can essentially hook up to this and make it work. But yeah, I think just like out of the box at that price point, having a luggage pass-through would be a no-brainer for most people. Secondly is I find myself wanting like a good top-down quick access pocket. So in both this one and the Max EDC, you have it right here, but it's a tight pocket to get in and out of, combined with the fact that it is on the deeper end. So, you know, sunglasses, AirPods, things like that, just little things that you want really quick access to. I don't know whether it's up here is probably what would make the most sense, where it's just like a quick top down, or maybe here, because really the only place that you have it is here. But because these are side access pockets and the sleeve on the bottom is pretty spacious, so it's really not good for smaller things. And then the one other one is a zippered pocket, but the second you have to involve a second zipping motion, it's no longer quick access in my opinion. And then just lastly is the standability. I found that with both the Max EDC and the Daily Plus, the more you use them, the more the bottom flattens out. So it has gotten better, but right now it's empty. As you can see, it just likes to lean forward. Once you start putting things in there, especially like leveraging this pocket here in the front, yeah, I guess it's standing right now. And it's gotten better, but it just, if it was a very reliable self-stander, something like a CityPack Pro 2, then really with those three things, I'd probably make this like my go-to everyday carry backpack until someone else comes in and makes a bag that's even more comfortable than this. So if you are dead set on getting an able carry backpack because you've heard all the amazing things that have been said about these bags, you're just trying to decide between the Daily Plus and the Max EDC, I'll share my thoughts. So at a very high level, the Daily Plus I find is better suited for everyday carry and as a travel companion to a suitcase or a duffel, something that you can use as a day pack at destination, assuming that your everyday carry doesn't involve taking a lot of bulky things. And then the Max EDC is more versatile. It's a better one bag to do it all. So if you have either an active lifestyle and you want to be able to use it for both work and gym, you're carrying bulkier things, or you also want to have the flexibility to use it on occasional or many one bag travel trips for like 2 to 3 nighters, then the Max EDC is the better choice. And it's really interesting, the dimensions that Able Carry posts on their website. I have to like get the actual dimensions, but when you look at them, the Max EDC is listed as like slightly taller and slightly deeper. But if I was just on the website and looking at those dimensions, it would look pretty identical to me. But having them side by side, the Max EDC is definitely taller, and where you like notice a huge difference is the depth. Like right now, they're both empty, but to me, when I initially got the Max EDC, I felt like it was like just like a perfect bag to do everything, and I still feel that way. But for most people, assuming that you're not like really massive, I think it looks and feels a little bit too bulky for everyday carry, whereas the Daily Plus dimensions, especially the slimness of it, I think makes it a lot more optimal in that sense. So where I think the Daily Plus wins, side access, 2 small essentials. It's a more practical size and weight for everyday carry, which I just talked about. And then just lastly, the looks. I definitely dig the looks of the Max EDC, but the Daily Plus captures that simplicity, that minimalism. I feel like it embodies the Able Carry design language more succinctly than the Max EDC does. So I'd say, as far as access to small essentials, when you look at the 2 bags, like the defining organization element in both is this front stash pocket. But on the Daily Plus, within this pocket, you get a stretch mesh sleeve, and then you get like a zippered compartment here. So if you're not one to use a tech pouch and you want to be able to like quickly access, I don't know, AirPods, sunglasses, charger, mobile battery bank, whatever it is that you want, you have that segmentation and that ability to do it with the Daily Plus. Whereas on the Max EDC, the front stash pocket is for the most part just a really big, spacious cavern. You do have a zippered pocket in here as well, but it's just like one long one and everything ends up like falling to the bottom. Secondly is just the size and weight. I already talked about the dimensions, how even though on the website, they're pretty similar. Definitely looking at them for someone like myself, 5'8", 140 pounds with like fairly broad shoulders. This bag feels like a little bit too big, whereas this one feels just right. Then the other component is the weight. If I'm not mistaken, this one is 2.6 pounds and this one's 3.4 pounds. So if you don't really need the additional volume, that difference in weight is definitely noticeable and contributes also to why I find that this bag edges the Max EDC in terms of comfort. And then lastly, the looks, again, pretty subjective, but even though they definitely look related, the Daily Plus has just more of like a less is more aesthetic. The zippers are more concealed, like the water bottle holder. Zipper is like flush, just like a ninja bag, whereas this one has a little bit more going on. But I also really like the look of the Max EDC. One thing that's actually pretty cool is that when I got the Daily Plus, they've always had the navy color, ocean blue, whatever it is, which is one of my favorite colors in bags altogether. And I'm not even like a huge blue person, but it just works really well, especially with the color of the liner, which is like a light beige color. Previously, the Daily Plus in navy had the zipper was black and all of the webbing was black. Again, very subjective thing, but I didn't really like the look. I prefer the monochromatic single color blue all around. And I looked recently and it looks like now they offer the Daily Plus in entirely the blue color as well. Now, where I think the Max EDC wins is easy access to bulkier things, and that's primarily because of this front stash pocket. This thing is so spacious. You can comfortably throw in a pair of shoes. You can throw in jackets, gloves, and beanies all in one place. Not necessarily including shoes unless it's like a slim jacket, but that contributes to why this is such an awesome like gym hybrid bag. So for example, when I travel, I love paddle. I'm obsessed with it. It actually didn't come to where I live in Salt Lake City until recently, but most of the places that I travel to, I bring my paddle racket and I play when I'm out there, unless it's like a very short trip. And I'm typically traveling with my wife, so the Max EDC is usually like the second bag that I don't have to think about. The first bag that I bring is usually something like the Daily Plus, something more compact that's like perfect underneath the plane seat, whatever. And also because I have kids, like when we're traveling, we just end up taking a decent bit of stuff for them. One of the things that my wife, like I can't have this argument with her about whether or not we're gonna bring it. It's like the flyaway. It essentially like converts the seat into a bed for the kids. So when we go on longer flights, and honestly, it's like pretty amazing, but it takes up a good bit of space. So we throw that in this bag and it just eats it up really nicely. And this is what I use as like my gym activity bag when I'm out and about. Second place where the Max EDC wins is just a water bottle holder. Now, when I launched the channel a little over a year ago, I was very much like team external water bottle holder. I'm still very much, if a backpack has no water bottle holder whatsoever, like it's not gonna be an optimal bag for me. So like Go Ruck, for example, fantastic bags, but the vast majority of them don't have water bottle holders of any kind. So I don't gravitate towards them for that reason. But these were some of the bags that kind of got me thinking it is kind of nice, right? When you're at an airport, you have your water bottle, bags on a luggage pass-through and it's sitting sideways, not having to worry about it sliding out or where you have it underneath the plane seat. It does eat into the main compartment space, which is the biggest compromise. And it's not as quick and easy access as just like pulling it out. But honestly, on the Max EDC, the execution of the water bottle holder is pretty fantastic. Like it's really easy to get in and out of. This is a 32-ounce hydro flask. Like look how easy that was. Super comfortable. Here's an Awala. 24 ounce, which is usually what I travel with. It fits great. Now on the Daily Plus, which is I would say also kind of a nitpick, but I just saved it for this talking point. The water bottle holder is like back here, but because the zipper to the main compartment is here, oftentimes I'll either grab the wrong one or I'm just like, it's so concealed that it's definitely not like this where you don't have to think about it. Sometimes I'm like, where the hell is the zipper pull for it? And it's here. I do feel that on the Daily Plus, it eats up more into the main compartment space, first of all. And second of all, because it's just a vertical zip rather than one that goes around, putting the water bottle in requires a bit more MacGyverage. This is a 24 ounce. It still fits a 32 ounce, but as you can see, that's eating quite heavily into the main compartment. Now, a few other nuances worth mentioning. One thing that's really cool in the Max EDC is that typically bags that come in an X-Pack Ultra, like waterproof material, they get paired with PU-coated zippers like you see on the Daily Plus. I haven't seen that very much in other bags, like the Alpha 19er Whitley has it on their X-Pack version, but I really appreciate that. Now, if you've seen any of my other videos, I do a Pilgrim churned zipper smoothness rating. And if I'm not mistaken, I gave this a 9.5. Now, when I did that rating, like I didn't have a ton of bags. I was just launching a YouTube channel. This is the first time I ever adjust a rating. And now I still think that these zippers are very, very smooth. But the more I've used both of these bags, and also the more I've tried new bags and kind of recalibrated what a 9.5 truly should be. I don't think this is a 9.5. I think this is a 9.2. And shockingly, the PU-coated zipper Daily Plus is a 9.4. It's super duper smooth. And it's funny, like looking at some of my favorite zipper experiences, a lot of them are PU-coated zippers like the Air City Pack 2, not the Pro version in Ultra, the PU-coated zipper, specifically for the main compartment. All of them are good, but the main compartment one is fantastic. The Simple Commuter, PU-coated zipper, insane. PGY Tech, one go-to. Laptop compartment, PU-coated zippers. Like, I'm like looking at it right now. I'm like tempted to go, just want to like have like a little zipper party. But anyways, that's a worthwhile consideration. And then the last place where the Max EDC definitely gives you more is in terms of organization. So they both have these quick access pockets here, which I talked about why I still don't consider them like full-on quick access pockets. But then the Daily Plus has really one main compartment, and within that you have both the dedicated laptop sleeve, and then you get two additional sleeves, like one smaller in the front for smaller things, and then one for something like a tablet, which I do appreciate those two things together, because when you're going through airport security, not having to go through multiple compartments to get your laptop and your tablet if you're carrying with both of those things. On the Max EDC, you have a dedicated laptop compartment, but it's just one sleeve. The tablet / whatever you want to put in their sleeve is in the main compartment. So I wish they were both together. And then beyond that, they implemented a little like tech pouch hammock area up here, stretch mesh, fantastic, with like 3 slip pockets. And then you have just like a big open cavity that you can put bigger things into. And then in the main compartment, the Daily Plus only has one zippered pocket here. The Max EDC, you get an extra one down here, and then you also get this really nice stretch mesh pouch. So if you're like one bag traveling, great place for socks, or if you want to throw an umbrella, whatever it is. And then lastly, you also get in the Max EDC this side access pocket that's a little bit more concealed. It's a little tight in there, and yet the stretch mesh that would keep things snug and secure in there is kind of loose. So I really don't use it that much, but yeah, if you're like, I love organization, I want a place for every single type of thing I might want to put in here, that's super important, then yeah, Max EDC is going to give you a lot more options in that sense. So I'm not going to do like a full walkthrough of the Daily Plus like I do in most of my videos because it's been out for a while. There's a million walkthroughs on there. Just wanted to share my long-term thoughts on it. And I really showed you everything at some point or another in this video. Final thoughts, trying to decide between the two. If you have an active lifestyle, you envision that you're going to use this bag for like gym type activities in addition to work, or you want to have the ability to one bag travel with it, and you're not like building out a bag quiver that's specialized to different things, then the safer choice is the Max EDC. Now, if you're going to just use it for work or as a day pack while you're traveling slash a companion to a suitcase or a duffel, and especially if you don't have a massive torso and you don't want to be walking around with something that looks overly bulky and that is also heavier, then the Daily Plus is a no-brainer in my opinion. I absolutely love this bag. I love both of them, but generally speaking, like my sweet spot for the bags that I'm using more than anything are in like that 18 to 22 liter range. And yeah, I mean, literally they add a little small quick access pocket here, give me a luggage pass-through, make this bag like a true standard, and then maybe bonus points if they refine the water bottle holder situation, which is, I'm still totally fine with it, but maybe something a little bit more in line with what the Max EDC has done, then, I mean, this could be the bag that just makes me just stop making videos, quit the channel, right? Freaking love it. Make it an eco pack. Game over. Oh man. Anyways, I need to go to sleep. Best of luck. Cheers.